everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching. Today's video is about my favorite translucent loose powders. This is one of the videos that most of you have requested and you want to know that what are my favorite powders. So I'm going to tell you my 3 top most favorite translucent powders that I love using it on my brides, on myself and on my clients as well. The first translucent powder that I'm going to talk about is this one from Becca. This is one of my favorite powders for myself and for all the people who have dry skin. This Hydra Mist powder, as the name says, the moment you put it on your skin, it gives you that cooling sensation and it's perfect for dry skin. Most of the translucent powders do dry up the skin, but this powder I discovered that is not at all drying on the skin. So any of your client who has dry skin and they're not very happy with baking and they want a very natural look, Becca Hydra Mist powder is one of the best powders that you can use on them. Also, the product claims to be sulfate-free, paraben-free, coal tar-free and a lot of other things, and it's a vegan formula. It's a beautiful powder. It's a very lightweight powder and it sets your foundation in place. Overall, it's a beautiful powder for all of you who have dry skin. I also like using this powder on mature skin. The only setback for this powder is that it doesn't come in a lot of colors, but it's a universal color, so you can use this powder on most of the skin tones. The next of my favorite powder is definitely Laura Mercier. You people have seen me using this powder so much. This is one of the powders that is very safe to use on most of the clients, because the best part about this powder is that it does not move. Also, it doesn't have a flashback, so you can just close your eyes and use it on any of your clients. But the only setback for this powder that I feel is that this powder is a little too dry, especially for people who have dry skin. Yes, when your clients have excessive dry skin, I generally see that the powder tends to cling to the dry areas. So I don't like using this powder on people who have really dry skin. Otherwise, you have normal skin, you have combination skin, you have oily skin. Perfect powder for all of your clients, for all your bridal clients. This powder is definitely the favorite for all the makeup artists, and you must have this powder in your vanity. And now the final, this is one of my favorite powders as well. This is the Hourglass Veil translucent powder. This is a beautiful setting powder. I love this powder. The other 2 powders that I told you are definitely more matte. You can definitely do baking with those powders. But Hourglass Veil powder, I don't suggest doing baking with this powder because this powder has a very nice sheen into it. I'm one of those who love a nice fresh glowy skin, so this is definitely my favorite powder. I love using it on myself and for all my clients who want to have a nice dewy glowy look. This powder also doesn't have a flashback, but it gives you that beautiful glowy sort of a look when you apply this powder. I would not suggest this powder for setting your under eyes. I would suggest a powder which is more matte for setting the under eyes. But when we talk about a setting powder for your overall face, this is a beautiful powder. I love this powder. I think you need to have different powders in your vanity depending on the kind of client you're doing and depending on the kind of look you want to give to your client. If your client is very oily and you really need to bake, you need to have Laura Mercier in your vanity. If your client is too dry, if your client has mature skin, Becca is a beautiful powder. A perfect powder for those who's going to be out in the sun. And if you're going to create a bride, if you want to do a client who wants a nice dewy glowy complexion, Hourglass Veil translucent powder is definitely hands down my favorite powder. So these are three of my favorite powders. There are many more that I love, but if I talk about my three most favorite powders, these are the ones. Lately, I have been obsessed with the Patrick Star collection, the one size powder. I just love it on myself. I have used it on a few of my clients, but I really want to try that powder out more on myself and my clients and let you know. Maybe in my next video it can be in one of my favorites, but as for now, these are my three top favorite translucent powders. So that was all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. In case you like it, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time a new video goes up. I love you all, stay blessed and keep watching.